Welcome. This is a timeless reading for Taurus. Today we're going to take a peek at various facets of your life, including relationships, wealth, and health. Before I get into the reading, I'm going to give you the standard YouTube blurb. General collective reading, you know the shtick, right? But what I am also going to say is I'd like you to take a moment to ground yourself and connect with collective energies. If you're viewing a collective reading, that's really going to ensure you get the most out of the reading if it is a reading that resonates with you. If you're not familiar with any of these practices, I've made some suggestions in the description box below. Feel free to pause the video, do that, and then come back, or you can connect while I'm doing the shuffle, and I'll be right back with your reading. Hello, Taurus. Welcome back to your reading. So we've got an energy of isolation here in your present energy. And for your advice, we've got an energy of success. Okay, let's see how these tie together. I'm curious. Okay, so for isolation, we're going to read from the book. It's lengthy, so I might paraphrase. We'll see. We'll play it by ear here. Okay, it says, even when surrounded by a group, we all have experienced a feeling of being alone at one time or another. You may need to consider if you are holding back input out of fear of expressing an unpopular opinion. This card may also indicate a group or community that didn't connect with your beliefs, causing you to feel ostracized. Use this time to look inward, examining what ideas or insights come to mind. Isolation may also indicate a need to remove yourself from a situation to quiet your mind and contemplate your next move. Ooh, very hermit reverse energy, right? Isolation may bring to the surface feelings associated with abandonment. It can represent a block centered around a fear that your actions may lead to not being accepted or removed from a group. Fear of being cast aside might result in you limiting your potential by withholding ideas or suppressing inspiration. For example, if you grew up in a home where lack and scarcity of resources was a dominating factor, and now as an adult you have opportunities to create financial freedom, the fear of no longer fitting in with your family might prevent you from reaching your greatest potential. If you are successful, you may risk conflict with your family as your paths diverge. Okay, that's not exactly how I'm glad I read that. I get mainly the hermit in reverse vibe here. But I feel that energy of feeling isolated from a group because you're going on a different path. Like, here's the example I want to bring to this energy here. So, and I'll bring it from my personal experience, my own story. Growing up in a very small farm community, really isolated community, ironically enough. And then making a path in my education and my career that really took me on a completely different path than the people who were my closest friends and family. Right? And they're still very much my heart. But our lives are so very different now because of the path that I took, that diverging path. And it can be a bit of dissonance that love and that connection is still there and not wanting to be different because you won't fit in anymore, almost like they won't love you the same because you're going to be different, right? But it doesn't mean that you stay on that same path with them if you have a different path. And it can be hard. And it can make you feel isolated. That's an energy that I'm getting from that card for sure. Okay, so we have Queen of Pentacles here in reverse in the area of finance and career. So I do feel there's some financial dependence or maybe some debt that has you feeling a little strapped or dependent on another person, the bank. in a job where maybe you're not completely fulfilled, but it pays the bills well. Right? Maybe you'd like to make a little less money and be a little happier, but you're strapped right now. That's what I'm getting from that energy there. Or tied to another person financially, very dependent on somebody else financially. Any clarification on this Queen of Pentacles? Okay, we got both the Druidess of Swords and the Ace of Swords in reverse. So there is a lack of clarity, potentially a lack of honesty around this financial dependence. Take that however it resonates for you in your circumstance. And we have a Druidess of Wands here, someone very powerful, fiery, creative, passionate, powerful energy. It's possible you're dependent on the Druidess. Are you the Druidess? You only know your situation, but that's the energy that's here. There's some financial dependence, and there's a lack of honesty around it, a lack of clarity around it. I'd say if you're somebody, if you're not the one in control of the finances, I would say with this kind of energy, it would be good to try to get some clarity, answers, questions answered. Make sure if you're in contracts or agreements of some kind that you know the fine print, you know the details of that agreement. You may not be as dependent on that situation as you need to be if you were to pay attention to the details independently. Like, don't rely on this person you're dependent upon to tell you what the truth is what I'm saying. Okay, in your area of relationships, we've got the Hierophant reverse. And that's just saying you're pretty non-traditional in this area of your life. Your relationships don't fit the typical mold. You may be in a relationship or heading into a relationship with a very powerful masculine, very logical, clear-headed. There's also an Empress energy in reverse here with Adept of Wands, which is like Knight of Wands energy. What is going on? You may be involved in, what I've been hearing readers call it lately is third-party situations, right? I'm going to call it, you may be somebody who's in your non-traditional, this is romantic relationships, not into monogamous relationships, or your relationships have not traditionally been monogamous, and there may be a series of individuals or multiple individuals that you are involved with. And I'm saying this because this is fine. Like, this is how you operate. One of them is this like very masculine. I'm getting like somebody who's very dark eyes, very clean cut, short hair, thin, tall, and has a lot of like perfectionist tendencies. Somebody who's very in a line of work that's very academic, lots of reading and academic work, like law, where there's a very black and white, very clear, definitive information. They could be actually in like politics too. something of that nature, right? And they use that, it's their persona. Their line of work very much fits this persona that they carry. But they're not very compassionate. They don't have a lot of emotional, like lovey-dovey qualities. Almost like they're not somebody who wants to hug or hold hands in public. Not someone you see yourself going to the party and having the time of your life with. You know what I mean? They do offer security and, you know, that sense of security, of being held, looked after. And there's a sense of justice about this person as well. Well, there's a lot of information from this person. There's also this Knight of Wands energy, much more youthful energy. This is the person you take to the party. Yeah. Much more youthful, more playful. They may color their hair. They may have, you know, any color. I'm getting like purple, blue. Or they may change the color of their hair regularly. You can't trust this one as much as you can trust the other one. This one's more a fun person in your life. But they're not as trustworthy. And they can fly off the handle really easily. They like act without thinking. Look at the tiny dog. I've never noticed the tiny dog. Maybe this person has a small dog. That's funny. And then we have an Empress energy in reverse. The Empress in reverse here is somebody who's not as connected with, I want to say, emotional intelligence. Like, not as rooted, grounded. A little more like flighty, you know, is the energy. They may think they're Empress. Right? Give the impression that they like always have their nails done, walking around, lots of luxury, looking good, spending money they don't have. Like the outside doesn't match what's going on the inside. Not as put together on the inside. So we've got multiple partners going on here. You may be somebody who's been dating, or this may be multiple partners from your past. So you could be involved with many of these personalities, all of these personalities like this. They could be a series of relationships that you've dated in the past that are still in your energy. Maybe you are still talking to them, friends with them in some way. These could be potential future partners coming to you. This is all romantic energy. Any one of them might be a present partner. Present, past, future partner. I'm getting for some people that it might be all three of them right now. Okay, so we have 8 of Swords here in reverse. The action that you're needing to take. Freeing yourself. What are you freeing yourself from? Well, we got 2 3s in reverse. 3 of Wands and 3 of Stones. Oh. we've also got a 3 over here. And interesting. I think for some of you, one of these is your match. And the action you need to take is actually settling down with that person, realizing that person is your match. Wow, not what I saw coming. The 3 of Wands is telling you not to move on, right? In an area of action, like you want to walk away from something and you're not supposed to walk away. And 3 of Stones, this is like a realization, right? You're coming to some sort of realization. You haven't realized it yet, but you will be coming to some realization. This could be not just related to the romantic aspect. It could also be related to the work situation. I don't know if this is a work situation. This is financial exclusively and may actually be related to the romantic partnerships. You may be dependent on someone here financially. You may be married to one of these individuals and dependent on them financially. Or you just might be in a relationship and dependent on them financially. But that's not your fit. One of the others is your fit. And you have 3 of Cups here showing the celebration and the abundance that you're feeling emotionally. You know who the right one is. Wow, this is like a romance reading. Yeah, this person is your wish fulfillment. And the isolation card is because this is not the path that, like, the traditional path. And you're worried that people are going to think bad of you for choosing this other person. You may be leaving a marriage or a relationship for this other person. Then you're worried about how people are going to perceive you because of it. You may be worried about how your family perceives you because of it. I mean, certainly if you have children, I can understand that. You may be actually realizing that you're not into a heterosexual relationship and you've met your true match, your wish fulfillment, and it's somebody who's the same gender. And you feel like you're going to be ostracized for that. But yeah. It seems strange in current times, but also, like, current times are nuts. So there's definitely people that are still, like, judging and ridiculous about, what your personal preferences are and choices are. And that seems to be bothering you. It's part of the fear. But this person is absolutely to be celebrated. This is your wish fulfillment. You're not wrong, man. Your soul is on the money. And we're moving into the area of the soul and the advice here. You have success. And we also have the 9 of Wands in reverse. Like, your soul is kind of exhausted by fighting this battle, by denying yourself this wish fulfillment. Can we get... Before I could say, can we get clarification? We have the Lover's card. I don't often read the Lover's card as love, but here it is. It is a choice card. But guess what? We're making a choice about love here. It's both. This is what your soul wants. This is actually, for some of you, this may not resonate with a lot of people, but this is your soul. Your soulmate. You have found your match. And you're having a hard time with it because it doesn't feel like what you had thought that person was going to be. You're struggling with other people's perceptions. Okay, the advice here, we've got the 7 of Pentacles, we've got the Knight of Pentacles, and we've got Judgment. And do we even need clarification here? So it's like you've been working hard towards something else in your life to like check boxes to do things the right way, and coming to this realization that this is not fulfilling, right? Like staying in whatever situation that you're in that you're dependent upon, that you're worried other people are going to judge you for leaving, is just not a fulfilling relationship for you. It's not fulfilling to your soul. And you need to start, building seeds, putting your time and energy into doing what is fulfilling for you, into following your own path, your path. This is your one and only life. Putting seeds into building and growing that relationship that is your wish fulfillment. And this is a judgment. This is an awakening, a realization that you're having. Realization card. This is a true life-altering, life-changing awakening. And I imagine for some of you it won't be easy. But also, congratulations, because this is the kind of love that will be with you for a lifetime. Okay, Taurus. Thank you very much for joining. If this reading was yours, I'd appreciate if you let me know. Go ahead and claim it in the comments.